Let's cut through all the dating advice noise for a second. Everyone's got a theory about what makes women fall in love. Be confident, be mysterious, be funny, be vulnerable. The list goes on forever. And honestly, most of it just confuses guys even more. But here's the reality. After you strip away all the surface level tactics and tricks, women fall in love for only two fundamental reasons. Just two. And once you understand these, everything else about attraction and relationships suddenly makes sense. So stick with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to break down will change how you think about every interaction you have with women. 1. The setup. Before we get into the two reasons, we need to address something important. Most guys approach dating like it's a checklist. If I do X, Y, and Z, she'll fall for me. They think love is some kind of formula you can hack. But love doesn't work that way. It's not transactional. You can't nice guy your way into someone's heart. You can't logic someone into loving you. And you definitely can't manipulate or trick someone into genuine feelings. What actually happens when someone falls in love is much more primal and psychological than most people realize. It's about how you make them feel, not what you do for them. And those feelings boil down to two core human needs that everyone has, whether they admit it or not. Now, here's where it gets interesting. These two reasons aren't about looks, money, status, or any of the superficial stuff people argue about online. Sure, those things might get you in the door. They might spark initial attraction, but they don't create love. They never have, and they never will. Love happens when you tap into something deeper, something that speaks to who she is at her core and what she needs from a partner to feel truly connected. And that brings us to the first reason. Reason one, how you make her feel about herself. Here it is. The first reason women fall in love with you because of how you make them feel about themselves when they're around you. Read that again. It's not about how you make them feel about you. It's about how they feel about themselves in your presence. This is massive, and most guys completely miss it. They're so focused on impressing her, on being interesting, on showcasing their value, that they forget the most important thing. People gravitate toward those who make them feel like the best version of themselves. Think about your favorite people in your life. Why do you love being around them? It's probably not because they're constantly showing off or proving how great they are. It's because when you're with them, you feel funnier, smarter, more capable, more alive. They bring something out of you that you like. Women are the exact same way. When a woman is around a man who makes her feel beautiful, interesting, intelligent, valued, and seen, something shifts inside her. She starts associating those positive feelings with him. And over time, that association deepens into something much stronger. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine a woman goes on a date with a guy who spends the whole time talking about his accomplishments, his car, his job, his workout routine. She might be impressed, but she walks away feeling like a spectator in his life. Now imagine she goes on a date with a different guy who asks her genuine questions, laughs at her stories, challenges her thinking in a playful way, and makes her feel like the most fascinating person in the room. Which guy do you think she's thinking about later that night? The second one, obviously, because he made her feel good about herself. This is why women fall for guys who might not be the richest or the best looking, but who have this ability to make them feel special. It's not manipulation. It's genuine interest and appreciation. It's paying attention. It's remembering details. It's making her feel like she matters. Here's the thing, though. This only works if it's authentic. Women can smell fake interest from a mile away. You can't pretend to care about what she's saying while you're actually just waiting for your turn to talk. You can't memorize conversation tricks and think that's the same as genuine curiosity. The guys who are naturally good at this aren't following a script. They're actually interested in people. They ask follow-up questions. They notice things. They make women feel heard in a world where most people are just waiting for their chance to talk about themselves. And when a woman consistently feels like her best self around you, when she feels elevated and appreciated and valued, that's when the emotional bond starts forming. That's when she starts thinking about you when you're not around. That's when she starts falling. Reason two, how you make her feel about the future. Now let's talk about the second reason. Women fall in love with you because of how you make them feel about the future, specifically their future with you in it. This is about security, but not in the way most guys think. It's not just about financial stability or having your life together, although those things don't hurt. It's about emotional security. It's about trust. It's about the feeling that life with you would be better, easier, more exciting, more stable than life without you. Women are natural planners when it comes to relationships. They are thinking 5 steps ahead, even if they don't consciously realize it. And when they're evaluating whether to invest emotionally in someone, they're asking themselves a series of questions. Can I count on this person? Will he be there when things get hard? Does he make my life better or more complicated? Can I see a future with him? If the answers to those questions are uncertain or negative, love doesn't stand a chance. But if the answers are yes, if you create this sense of my life is genuinely better with this person in it, that's when the door opens. Let me break this down further. Making her feel good about the future means you're consistent. You do what you say you're going to do. You don't disappear for days and then pop back up with excuses. You don't play games. You don't create unnecessary drama or chaos. It also means you add value to her life in tangible ways. Maybe you're the person who helps her think through problems. Maybe you're the person who makes mundane activities fun. Maybe you're the person who supports her goals and ambitions instead of feeling threatened by them. Maybe you're just reliable in a world where so many people are flaky. Here's a key insight. Women have been burned before. They've dated guys who were exciting in the moment but couldn't be counted on. They've been with men who were all potential and no follow-through. They've experienced relationships that looked good on paper but felt exhausting in reality. So when you show up as someone who's actually stable, who actually follows through, who actually makes life feel less stressful instead of more stressful, you stand out. And not just as a good option, but as someone worth falling for. This doesn't mean you have to be boring or predictable. It means you're dependable where it counts. She knows that if she's having a rough day, you'll be there. She knows that if she needs to talk, you'll listen. She knows that you're building something real, not just killing time until something better comes along. Now, here's where it all comes together. These two reasons are inseparate. They work in tandem. You need both. If you only make her feel good about herself, but you're unreliable or directionless, she might enjoy being around you, but she won't fall in love. You become the fun guy, the temporary guy, but not the guy she wants to build something with. On the flip side, if you only offer stability and security, but you don't make her feel special or valued, you become the safe choice, the logical choice, but not the choice her heart wants. And that's a recipe for a relationship that feels more like a business arrangement than a romance. The magic happens when you combine both. When she feels like her best self around you and she can see a future where life just works better with you in it. That's when the walls come down. That's when she lets herself fall. Think about the relationships you've seen that actually work, the couples who are genuinely happy together. They have this dynamic where each person brings out the best in the other, and they've also built a life together that feels solid and secure. They laugh together, but they also handle problems together. They make each other feel good, but they're also a team. That combination is rare. Most people can do one or the other, but not both. And that's why most relationships either fizzle out or turn into something comfortable but passionless. So, how do you actually apply this? Let's get practical. For the first reason, focus on being present. Put your phone away during conversations. Ask questions that go beyond surface level. Notice things about her that other people miss. Compliment her in ways that show you're actually paying attention, not just throwing out generic lines. Make her laugh. Challenge her thinking. Show her that she's more than just another option to you. And here's the crucial part. Celebrate her wins. Support her ambitions. Don't compete with her or feel threatened by her success. Be the person who genuinely wants to see her thrive. Because when a woman feels like you're in her corner, rooting for her, that creates a bond that's hard to break. For the second reason, work on being consistent. If you say you're going to call, call. If you make plans, keep them. Show up when it matters. Be someone she can count on. And beyond just reliability, bring stability to her life. Help solve problems instead of creating them. Be a calming presence instead of a source of stress. Also, And this is important, have your own direction. Women don't fall in love with men who are aimless. You don't need to have everything figured out, but you need to be moving somewhere. You need to have goals, ambitions, and a sense of purpose, because that creates the feeling that a future with you is a future that's going somewhere interesting. Women fall in love for two reasons: because of how you make them feel about themselves, and because of how you make them feel about the future. Master those two things, and everything else falls into place. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button because we're going to keep digging into the real psychology behind relationships. No fluff, just the truth. See you in the next one.